Hey guys, it's your humble host, or Kill if you prefer. So I'm back with another update video. I'm not really going to be covering anything, just kind of giving an update, as well as possibly some thoughts on some stuff I've been lurking around. First and foremost, for those of you who do not know, have not seen the video, I've been posting a little bit about it. I lost my family pet to cancer, so it's not easy, and the image you see on screen was done by the very gracious and talented Tracy B., creator and author of Lackadaisy. It's a comic about anthropomorphic cats during the Prohibition era, where two rival gangs are secretly selling booze and are in competition with each other to the point to where it leads to murders and all sorts of other shenanigans. No, this is not a promotion video. I've just been following this comic book artist for quite a few years, and I really, really love her work. And honestly, and I told this to her, I did not pay nearly as much as I believe I should have. The piece you see before you, if done by any other artist, I could see this well about maybe $200 to $300. It's just that freaking good. What I paid wasn't even close, so it just kind of blew my mind. The quality, she's always had good quality work. I've bought quite a bit of her merchandise because this is just the first comic I really financially supported. She's not involved in any drama. She's not involved in really anything that would rub me the wrong way. Politics may be a little bit different, but so freaking what? This is an actual artist that stands on her merits. She has a good team backing her. She has an animation that's going to come out. Again, this is not a sponsorship video. I'm not being paid to do this. This is just an artist I really admire and highly respect and very much enjoy her work. All of her merchandise that I have gotten from her, whether it be her comic books, her shot glasses, there's another thing I'm waiting to be fulfilled by her, and I believe it's supposed to be fulfilled in January. Her items do take a bit to arrive, but trust me, it is well worth the wait, and I literally cried when I saw this. It was just that good, and just to capture my beloved Mitten's energy, and everyone I have showed this to is just gobsmacked, and it's really well done. I showed this to a chiropractor today I went to, and I can't praise this work enough, and for the amount I paid, it was nothing compared to what the price should have been. But let me tell you, this is a Patreon, because I do support on Patreon, someone who appreciates their patrons. I've been her patron for quite a while, and I just to kind of be recognized with that, with the price, and to have this belted out in little under a week, about a week, when she's working on animation, she's been doing other commissions. A digital painting like this takes freaking hours, just hours to get right, even like the smallest details. Anyway, I can't sing her praise enough, and I'm very much thankful. My husband loved it. This was a family pet we had for 6 years, and for anyone who's had to put down a family pet, lose them to cancer, you have that one animal that just has that unique personality, whether it's a bird, dog, cat, fish, turtle, I don't care. But when you have that unique personality come and go, and you're never going to get something like that again. And this was a very unique cat. So anyway, I'll put Lackadaisy's stuff in the description. Again, for the third and final time, this is not a sponsorship video. This is me recognizing another artist, one of whom I have great respect for, and I have yet to be disappointed with anything Tracy puts out. Her quality of work, any merchandise I have gotten from her is always high quality. So I've never had an issue with Tracy or the Lackadaisy crew or just any of their products for that matter. Anyway, so enjoy the image on screen and check out the links below while you're listening to this, because there's a few other things I want to touch upon. Besides losing our family pet, not really a whole lot going on. Work is fine. I've had to update my glasses, and I'm waiting for those to arrive. I have farsightedness in both eyes now, yay, and my left eyeball has been screaming at me for the past few days, so that's been fun. In regards to internet junk, I've been staying out of a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of things pass on my desk, kind of on my radar. I've been lurking around some things, just trying to see if they're gonna implode. Not because of pointing fingers left, but because is this where we're really going? So to kind of touch upon the Rekieta Law stuff. Okay, so first and foremost, it's not my place to judge. I'm not here to bash Rekieta or his wife, but I will say, because I've seen this shit before, and I can't tell you how many discords and channels, like big channels I've seen implode when they shift dynamics and they start doing stupid shit. And I've also seen the attitude change on Kiwi Farms. Yes, I lurk around his thread. I have caught up with it, or was the other day. And the fact that there's been such a significant attitude change on the thread does not spell good things. No, Kiwi Farms is not the arbiter of who's a good content creator and who's not. That is not the point. But when you see the dynamics of a thread change, when you start to see people who didn't go, how should I put this? Didn't go out of their way, or I should say, try to look the other way, or try to delicately handle certain things when documenting the actions of a YouTuber, when they just go, you know what, I don't care. This is just getting stupid now. And the main argument I can see with Rekieta Law, because I've kept my mouth shut, because if I open my mouth and the Discord or anything, there's two responses I'm going to get. I'm either going to get called a prude or some other freaking dumb shit. And this is something I've kind of noticed online. If you're not as degenerate as everybody else, you get mocked. If you try to go, hey, you know what, I was drawn to you because of this, this, and this, you get mocked. So there's no point of arguing with idiots. So I've kept my mouth shut in a lot of places. I'm just putting it here as part of the update video. But I can't quite say I am a fan of the direction Rekieta Law is going. It's his channel, it's his shtick. I can't dictate that. I'm not a close friend. I've never been, so I'm not even going to pretend to have any sphere influence. But from my observation, my opinion, just from the past things I have clipped from Rekieta Law, and this was stuff that just went, whoa, this stuff is deep, or this stuff needs to be said more. Just kind of seeing a shift away from that. It's just, it's not only disappointing, but it's also worrying. From what I've seen on the farms, and this is being talked about a lot, just the hypocrisy that's coming from Rekieta, because it's been talked about time and time again on how Rekieta used to mock people who are excessively open about their sex lives on Twitter. An example that keeps being brought up is with Monocle Rial and Ron Toy during the Vic Mañana fiasco. When Monocle Rial kept bragging about how their sex was great, And I was like, if you have to brag about it, your relationship and or your marriage and your sex life is in the freaking toilet. You are compensating for something, and this is proven true time and time again, to where you see either the creator, because I can't tell you how many relationships I've just seen blasted all over the internet. Let's take one that's fairly obvious and goes back to the anti-SJW/skeptic community days. Armored Skeptic and Chew on Head. Who remembers how much shit those two blasted? And just look what happened. And no, I'm not making fun of it. Freaking Armored Skeptic, Greg, was a massive douche. And the stuff that leaked from his channel about his past Christian marriage, that he freaking dropped off a cliff for porn. And then I'm not sure what happened between him and June, but from the past Twitter feeds, because I used to follow those two, actually used to watch Armored Skeptic way back when, and just the amount of crap these two would blast, these two would share, and it wasn't anything good. And the jokes that would come out, and I'm just like, good Lord, this is not healthy, and it eventually imploded. And unfortunately, I've seen this more than once. Anybody who's been on the internet long enough, who lurks, has seen this more than once. And unfortunately, this is the kind of course that Rekieta Law with his wife are going. I hate to see anybody's relationship go in the toilet, in the tanker. I'm not going to say mine is a shining example, but I can tell you this, my ass and my stuff is not all over the internet, and me and my husband are not going out of way to get other people's attention with this shit. And again, that's not a low blow. That is, what the fuck are you people doing? Because you can obviously tell anybody who has 2 cents, anybody with half a brain that actually has a somewhat healthy understanding of marriage and relationships and boundaries, can look at this and go, something's not right. Something's getting ready to implode, and it's going to be ugly when it does. So there is time, because I've heard this said on the forums too, there is time to correct course. There is time to stop this freaking bullshit and actually figure out what the fuck is going on. Like, again, I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm not of any medical profession, and I can't emphasize that enough. But I would sit down and have a conversation. Shut off YouTube, shut off Rumble, shut off freaking social media at least for 3 days, if it's possible, financially speaking, and just have a conversation where stuff is going, how long this is going to go. We can look at examples. Jack Murphy, Nick Rekieta covered Jack Murphy, and Jack tried to portray himself as an alpha male, and he was just a degenerate cuck. Like, if you guys remember the articles that came out of how to fix feminists, that they should be raped, not kidding. And the other shit, and realized just how freaking nasty he was. Mike Sturkovich was also involved in that nasty shit. So this isn't going to be anything good, and I think I've talked about this before, how I was warned, I want to say 2 years ago, to get the fuck out of Rekieta Law's Discord server, because it was eventually going to implode. Now, I did initially leave it for a year, and then I came back because I tried to reach Rekieta about some of the Save James stuff. So that is the only reason why my ass is back in that freaking cesspool, because it is a fucking cesspool, and even Rekieta Law ignores his own damn server. That's how bad it is. But from what I'm understanding is his locals chat, because I'm on locals with Rekieta Law. I follow him and whatnot, but I do not participate in the chat. Usually the chat is going when I'm in the middle of something, or I'm at work, or whatever. And from what I'm understanding and hearing and little snapshots I'm seeing, the locals chat is very much starting to mirror the Discord, if not become even worse. Again, I'm not here to dictate to anybody how anyone should do their social media, their presence online, but I will say this, as someone who kind of considers himself a nobody, if you have a image of the family man, actual Christian family man, because before anybody goes, well, he didn't portray himself as Christian, and you know what, shove it up your butt. Yes, he did. If not a follower of God, and again, I'm not here to preach it, anybody just know. But if you have a image where you are pushing the nuclear family, where you portray yourself talking about the head of the household, being in fact having a proper effect in your own sphere before you try to have effect or change other people, because that's one of the clips that I got from Rekieta Law. I can post that below, among other things. And then, because this is something Kiwi Farms documented, you have some people that were very closely following his behavior and his attitude shifts. And yes, there was like some sexual stuff sprinkled here and there, and you know, that's kind of normal for a married man to just kind of joke about some stuff here and there. And I was not present for a lot of the him and Drex streams, and I just, again, busy. But so when you have this portrayal and you suddenly have this dynamic shift, as Kiwi Farms has documented, something happened after I believe it was the Johnny Depp trial, from what Kiwi Farms has documented and just kind of offering their observations. Nick apparently was in a bad mood for a little while, and then suddenly there was a 180 and his wife started to appear on a lot of his streams. Now, I'm not here to shit talk his wife. No. But I will say from her facial expressions, there's something not right. Like, you can have people who are really expressive with their face. However, when you have somebody that is constantly wide-eyed, they look like they're just beyond wired or strained, or just something kind of snapped, a cog popped out somewhere, and you can kind of see the flags with the way that she expresses herself. I've seen snippets where she's talked about how she doesn't feel like she's good enough, that she's not doing enough, and it's fine to an extent to talk about those things online, because you could talk about struggles if done so in the proper way. You do not just dump truck all over the internet. That is not a good idea. But if you're talking about a struggle and how you yourself personally walk through that struggle, that is something else entirely different. With Lady Rackets, her first name's actually Kayla. She has the same name as me. This doesn't seem to be the case, though. There was a stream that was clipped to where Rekieta just let her, like, dump truck, just dumping this stuff out for the entire audience. And he was telling her to stop, but he was also drinking. Again, it doesn't look good, and I'm not, Nick Rekieta's not my quote-unquote internet daddy. I have a father, thank you very much, who's very much influential. So I do not need an internet father, and nor have I ever looked up to Rekieta as one. Just know, I've had respect for him as a creator, and a lot of the stuff that he has said, but just as a should we say fan, or someone who enjoys his content, his law coverage, now and again, I am not a fan of this dynamic shift. I hope that this is just, I don't know, maybe a phase, I don't know, but I kind of have a feeling it's not just because of the shift, and because I've seen this more than once, others have obviously picked up on it. There's time to crit course, and that is shut off the camera for 3 days and just kind of have a conversation to where, cause if they're sharing this stuff, if they're sharing certain stuff now, like, what was it? Just the lewd pics, and I just, that in itself is a whole other thing, and I know the farms particularly does not care, but it's the action, not the actual pics themselves, but it's the action which is seen and deemed as hypocritical due to what Nick Rekieta was saying about 1 to 2 years ago. I mean, I don't know how much more to speak on that. I'm just not enjoying the dynamic shift. I'm actually a little bit worried um, because that issues of their marriage is bleeding into the social media, and anybody with two brain cells can freaking tell. And if it continues on that course, it's going to have a very, very negative impact. Um, Something to note, and I believe I've talked about this before. Before I left Rekieta's Discord server for a year the first time, he actually had 3 people just vacate the server, and his top mod just freaking just F off. He also had another moderator, Keck7, just freaking sawed off because he got tired of the bullshit. I think there's maybe like 2 mods running it now, and it's just a freaking cesspool. One of the people I noticed also got chased out, Stegus. Not really sure what happened. Saw snippets of conversations here and there, but he eventually got fed up and left. I'm sure others have left too. So it's just not good, and it's been going downhill for the past few years. And this is just a powder keg waiting to explode. So, for those of you listening who, Rekieta Law, whoever, this is not a judgment video. This is a, hey, what the fuck are you people doing video. Might want to correct course just a little bit, and I say this as a wife. I'm not talking as a YouTuber. I'm not talking about as a social media person. Again, I'm nobody. Most people don't know me from a hole in the ground. But I will say, y'all might want to shut off that thing for a few days and figure out what's going on before this completely explodes in your faces. And I say this with all the respect and love I can, because what you guys are doing is not good. Again, you guys are not the first couple to go exhibitionist on your viewers, and it's not going to last. Every couple I have seen do this crap has imploded, has broken apart, and it'll split your audience, and more importantly, it's going to split your house if you two don't quit. Again, I have a lot of respect for Rekieta. I don't know really anything about his wife. I'm not here to shit talk her, but there's some obvious issues there that really, really need to be dealt with, and preferably not on the camera. Bedroom stuff doesn't need to be coming out and spilling into everywhere. And also, I will say this too, because this is something I mentioned during the Vic Mañana stuff, and it had to do with Sunny Straight. And I'm going to quote myself here again. I don't know where that little snip in the video is. I'm not going to dig through all my old stuff. But so if you guys remember the stuff that came about Sunny Straight, he was literally signing the breasts of other women. And I told this to some of the Wrestling Bull Rangers. I said this out loud, I believe, on the streams. Like, if that was my husband, be dead men walking. Because hell to the no. First off, way inappropriate. I don't give a shit if they're your fans. 2, like, holy crap, you're a married man. You are being incredibly stupid. And in a way, I'd consider that cheating. So to speak. People think I'm ridiculous, whatever. I don't care. But this is stuff I am hearing. So whether or not it's true, I cannot vouch for personally because I have not seen the DMs, but this is what I'm hearing being whispered on the wind in the farms. Rekieta, again, I say this to you as respectfully as I can, man. If you have women posting their ass and their chest in your DMs or in your locals, and you are not putting a stop to that, like, I'm not going to tell you what to do because, and I'm not trying to be mean, but apparently, from what I'm understanding, is you're not listening to anybody right now. And again, I say this with all the respect, but if you got women doing that and you are not kicking these hoes to the curb left and right, from what the farms has observed, is that this is possibly why Lady Rackets or Kayla is acting out. I didn't know this at first, and I don't know how true it is or whatnot, but if you got a bunch of hoes in your DM, because that's what they are, Bunch of freaking married women, from what I'm hearing, sending you freaking nude pics, lewd pics, whatever. It is a form of cheating, my dude. I cannot tell you how grotesque. I can't even begin to explain how much of a betrayal that is, and no wonder why your wife is acting like a fucking Fruit Loop right now. So again, I'm not a marriage counselor, but if that's what's happening, my guy, and I understand if you don't ever want to hear from me again after this, like whatever. But dude, no, just fucking no. Like I don't. If this is the case, that's not even smart. Someone said it best on Kiwi Farms is you should be telling these hoes to be gone, knock it off. But again, whether or not you listen to advice, because I know you've had possibly more than one person talk to you, you have people who are personally talking to you on the threads, or whether or not, or sorry, I'm getting mixed up here. You have people who are writing to you specifically on the threads because they know that you read your own freaking thread. But oh my god, I can't emphasize enough, and this video is going on almost a half an hour, but y'all need to get your shit together because I'm telling this now, and people have chosen to ignore me, and that's fine. But usually, when I say stuff like this, I'm not wrong, and I try to speak as carefully as I can. I just like the stuff that came out with Yellow Flash, and he tried to make himself look like a victim with the freaking cell phone. Surprise, somebody else covered it a year later. And just the other stuff. This is not me acting arrogant. This is me going like, dude, this is someone else who is married, who is observing this stuff, and I'm sure you probably have other people try to talk to you. But I'm saying this publicly. Please, 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 I do not want to see you and Lady Rackets implode. I wish you guys the best. I hope whatever is going on gets rectified. I can kind of make a few guesses here and there, but it's not because I'm not a friend of you guys. I'm not going to speak on these things because it's not my place to do so, but I'm kind of sure you already know what they are. Anyway, with that being said, I have my fingers crossed for you, and I really hope you guys change course and kind of sit down and just get your heads screwed on straight and whatnot. To move on, sorry that took a while. I've been wanting to get some stuff off my chest for about that for a while because I've just been watching this go further and further into a nosedive, and I was, again, dealing with my animal for the past 2 months, among other things, so I really didn't want to stick my nose or head into it too much and open my mouth. And then, real quick, to just kind of touch upon something that Mr. Medicare has been covering. Oh my gosh, because I even talked to a supervisor about this dude. I've never followed Nick Fuentes, but holy crap, the fact that he's got people from both sides of the aisle in the media talking about him and laughing at him. Jimmy Kimmel played his clip of Nick Fuentes saying that having sex with women is gay. Okay. And then you have Steven Crowder talking about Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos' revenge plot to take Trump down because he lost everything, vouching for Trump and da-da-da-da. And it just, freaking group of degenerates. Nick Fuentes is a freaking degenerate, and I cannot tell you, this is... He runs a group, I believe, called America First, but he is actually a white supremacist, and this is not me just using that as a buzzword. He literally does not like people of color and has said as much and compared people of color, particularly blacks, to dogs, and in regards, like, I believe that was in regards to, like, interracial marriage, where they're talking about women doing stuff with dogs, and he threw in the comment about black people equating to dogs. It's really messed up stuff, and I've said it time and time again. I come from a mixed family, whether that's through blood, marriage, extended, but my family is very much mixed. So Nick Fuentes is an idiot and a degenerate, and anytime you have these freaking so-called alpha males running around, oh, well, America first, I'm for this and that, you come out there, the most nastiest freaking bastards, have the most fucked up views, and it's pretty much, as the word goes, a grift at this point. I have yet to meet someone who is true America first when it comes to these groups. True, hey, I actually back up what I'm saying, and these are what I call the alt media groups. Yeah, I know you have people like Matt Walsh, who I follow and respect, but I wouldn't consider him alt media because he's part of the Daily Wire and he's really big. I'm talking about these small groups that run around, stick their nose into shit. You like baked Alaska at the January 6th, causing trouble, and that's a whole other freaking bag of worms and other shit. But yeah, it always happens. These stupid alpha male groups end up being the most nastiest freaking things on the planet. It's like, you guys are fucking disgusting. And yeah. Anyways, I just find it kind of funny that another one of these stupid groups implodes because it's nothing but a grift. And it just pretty much, if you stop ignoring these groups, they won't have any influence. They should hopefully just shut up and go away. But you know how people get when people are ignoring them and they're used to getting all kinds of attention online. So anyway, that's been kind of interesting to follow. And I'm not following that too close because there's some stuff that's kind of getting leaked out, and I'm just like, yeah, no, thank you. I don't need to know about it. There is supposedly a sex tape going around, and yeah. So do not want to see. Thank you very much. Anyway, so that's pretty much an update. My thoughts on certain stuff going on. I'm sorry this is a rambly video. I just have not been in the mindset to make anything lately. It just, yeah, these past 2 months have freaking sucked. Dealing with a very sick and very much loved animal is not been easy, and when you are nail biting to see if the animal eats on their own, which Mittens was for a time, and but he stopped eating, and my husband had to coax him, but he was still trying for us. And it's hard, and I'm gonna wrap up with this because I know I'm going back to my family pet, but animals will have their own signals and times, and they have their own way of telling you when it's their time to go. And he kept trying for us, and something that I kind of noticed is during his last few days, he was not sleeping. He refused to go to sleep, from what I noticed, because he was moving around the room, and I thought at first that was a good thing until I looked over and noticed that he just, anytime I checked on him, he was wide awake, but you can tell he was sleepy. He wanted to go to sleep, but he didn't. That was like one of the indicators that he was trying to stay up for us. And I have a feeling that if he actually let himself go to sleep, he would have passed sooner than what he did. So it's not easy to put down a pet, and a lot of people can, I guess, either won't be there in the pet's final moments or can't. I was even talking about this with my chiropractor earlier tonight, and she goes, yeah, the animal will look for their owner if they're not there. When we went to go put Mitten down, and it went from an appointment to evaluation of life, and we got asked by one of the vet techs, hey, are you guys actually going to stay for the whole thing? I looked at her like, what type of question is that? It's like, yes, we're staying. It's not easy. Sorry. It's really not easy. But at the same time, you won't regret it later. It sucks when they put that syringe in and it's like a pink fluid and you just see it go through up the tube. And Mitten went quickly once that stuff hit his bloodstream. He went very quickly and he went peacefully. And one of the things that, because they sedated him, one of the things that my husband was worried about was whether or not Mitten would know that my husband was there. My husband was holding him. And Foof, which was his nickname, would respond to napkins. I don't know what the heck was up with this cat napkins. He freaking loved napkins. And so I picked up like a paper towel and I saw Foof's ears twitch, and I quickly handed it to my husband and like, hey, you know what? He here's the napkin, wrinkle the napkin. So Foof knew his dad was there. So anyway, it's not easy, but um, for those of you who may be approaching that time with your family pet, it is one of the hardest, yet one of, should I say, best things that you can do because you're there, they're there, the animal's going to go peacefully, they're going to be able to finally rest, and you'll be looking back, and it just, you'll be stronger for it. It's not anything we wanted to do. It just, no, it freaking sucks. This is our second family pet we've had to put down. First one was a special needs kitty that we had for 2 years, and when we first got him, we didn't know he was going to be special needs. He ended up being special needs and just deteriorated, and he stayed alive longer than what his old vet expected him to. So, but yeah, it's something that I recommend doing. Vets, there's blogs, there's articles on this, how being there in the final moments, that is when your pet needs you the most. That's when they need their friend just to kind of say goodbye. And yeah, so I'm getting a little bit teary eyed, so I'm going to kind of wrap it up here. It's just, it sucks, but you'll be stronger for it. You'll be better because you can actually be there. And I mean, we do this for each other, we do this for humans too. So I don't see a pet as any different from say a relative in their final moments just being there. I mean, yes, pets and humans are different, but they're family. When you have a close bond with them, they become family, and you want to see them off, and you get a piece from it later because you were able to be there. But yeah. Anyway, with that being said, yeah, that's the update. Check out Lackadaisy below. Again, this is not a sponsorship video. I love this lady's work. I love just, she belted this out in about a week. God, I cannot get over the freaking details of this. It captured his personality so damn much, and golly, I should have paid more. But what I paid was just so under the amount she deserved, but to just kind of get a little bit recognition that I was been one of her patrons for a while, and she has people who have been patrons for quite a while, and God, she treats her patrons right. I will say that. But yeah, so leave your thoughts below. There's also some clips that I got from Rekieta's old streams that I got a while back. So check those out. And this is why I'm not liking the dynamic shift. I hope they correct course. I really, really do. But, you know, I've seen this pattern with other YouTubers before. People online, when they blast their relationship all over the place, it never ends well. It always implodes. With that being said, I have my fingers crossed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.